The other day, I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast and stumbled upon a lighthearted but interesting take regarding Steph Curry's night-night celebration.
I just feel like LeBron must be furious that he didn't think of this. Like, he's probably fired his quirk management. It's like, how did you not give me the night-night? I would have been doing that in like 2013. You guys were supposed to come up with ideas like this for me. Why don't I have the night-night?
Now, Steph Curry has undoubtedly got one of the most iconic celebrations of all time. But didn't LeBron also have a celebration at one point? Then something strange happened. A few days later, in a relatively meaningless November matchup with the Pelicans, LeBron did this.
He's got it again! LeBron James!
Now, this was LeBron's first time doing the silencer celebration in almost 3 years, and only the second time doing it in more than 9 years. But why is that? How is it that LeBron have stashed away one of the most iconic celebrations for such a long time that people have began forgetting about it? And why did he choose to pull it out now on a random November night? To begin the story, we must go all the way back to 2013. In the 2012-2013 NBA season, LeBron has begun to shed the previous notion of himself being a non-clutch player. The NBA is a game of moments, and none more iconic than after big shots. But it's not just the big shots that we remember, it's also the celebration. When you think about Jordan's game winner against the Cavs, you don't just remember the shot. You also remember the jump. When you think about Kobe's game winner against the Suns, you don't just remember the shot. You also think about Kobe's jersey pull. These are ways to immortalize these moments, and for LeBron, it all started on March 3rd against the Knicks. Now, this game personally to me is known more for this scary fall that LeBron took. You see, at the time I was personally recovering from an ACL surgery, and I remember vividly thinking LeBron probably tore his ACL as well because of the way he landed. But he didn't, or he did and generated a new one on the spot, who knows. This game would be the birth of the silencer.
Back out, James for three, ties the game. Timeout New York as LeBron James with back-to-back threes, and we're all even.
Now this is kind of a baby silencer. Most people probably don't even consider this an actual silencer. But this is kind of LeBron's Motown moonwalk for the silencer. The celebration at this point is pretty much an homage to Nick Van Exel's Lower the Roof celebration from the 1998 NBA season. LeBron in a later interview would even admit that the inspiration came from Van Exel. Nonetheless, 15 days later on March 18th in a road game against the Celtics, after snatching Jason Terry's soul earlier in the game, LeBron would officially hit the silencer as we now know it.
Steps into a jumper and rattles it in! LeBron James gives Miami a 2-point lead with 10.5.
What's also special about this game is that this W would lead the Heat to their 23rd straight win of the season. But that high was short-lived, as the following game, the Heat would come crashing back down to earth and go down by 30 points to LeBron's former and future former team, the Cavaliers.
Lack of focus and urgency tonight. Everything the Heat had been priding themselves on has vanished.
An unfortunate result after the debut of one of the most iconic Wait, what's going on here? Oh yeah, right, I forgot to mention. The Heat on March 20th, 2013 would come back from a 30-point deficit to beat the Cavaliers for their 24th straight victory, sealed off with a back-to-back silencer.
LeBron, pull up three. It's good! And Miami has tied the game at 77 with a 37-10 run. Yes, you have to have heart for a comeback like this.
And this game is perhaps most well known for the incident shortly after the silencer, where a Cavaliers fan ran onto the court begging for LeBron's return in 2014. I just noticed while watching this back also that LeBron actually shook his hand and tapped his head. 8 months and a championship later, on November 23rd, 2013, LeBron pulls off the silencer for the only time ever at home in a game against the Orlando Magic.
Boy, he makes big shots. None bigger than that one so far tonight, but we still have 15 seconds left.
Now at this point, the celebration has become iconic with imitations in the NFL. LeBron was flattered by the imitation of a celebration. Later that season, on February 12, 2014, LeBron would have his most iconic silencer celebration to date.
Somebody else beat you.
Three on the way. He got it! The game is over.
Yes, it is.
You cannot secure an attempt.
It wouldn't be until more than 1 year later, on April 8, 2015, that LeBron would do his next silencer, the first time he would do it as a member of the Cavaliers.
.102.97, LeBron James, a three.
Later that year, on September 22nd, 2015, LeBron finally gives this celebration a name. In an Instagram video posted by LeBron of his son Bryce James doing the celebration, LeBron gives birth to the name The Silencer. A couple months later, he would debut his new named celebration at Madison Square Garden.
In front of him that time, James tries again. Backs in, fall-away shot. It's good. LeBron James puts the Cavs up 2. What a shot from James, and the Knicks call timeout.
And from that point on, LeBron would go into a 6-year hiatus from doing the celebration ever again. And while LeBron James is going on a hiatus, we're going to go on a hiatus as well and talk about today's sponsor, Underdog. Underdog is the place to play if you're a fan looking to cash in on all of your favorite athletes' performances. Available in over 30 states, including Georgia, California, and Texas. Just call your shot by picking higher or lower on 2 or more players' stats for a shot to win real money. Here are my picks for this week's games. I'm going to go with Nikola Jokic at higher than 27.5 points. Contavious Caldwell-Pope lower than 11.5 points, rebounds, and assists together. Feast week is here on Underdog. Check the app from November 27th to November 30th for all the promos. If you're a new customer, use the code WooHoops to unlock a free pick and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That is using the code WooHoops. So download the app today and turn every bucket into a W with Underdog. Despite LeBron personally stopping the celebration, the silencer would gain worldwide fame,
Odell doing his LeBron James celebration.
transcending the sport of basketball into other sports. LeBron was even asked about why he stopped doing the celebration.
I've had opportunities to do it, obviously, lately, and I don't, for some odd reasons, kind of just like, went past and, I didn't, but...
From what I can gather, I feel he just has outgrown it. Despite having some of his most clutch seasons during the stretch, the silencer was absent. I mean, look at this missed opportunity at the exact same location as his most famous silencer. Nope, just not gonna do it. Now, up until this point, looking at the opponents and trying to find a pattern at where he likes to break out the move, for one, he seems to mostly do the move against teams he has a history with. He seems to also love doing it after hitting a shot from the left side of the court, and he seems to love doing it at iconic stadiums, like Madison Square Garden. Which brings us to November 21st, 2021. The Lakers are currently on the road against the Detroit Pistons, and LeBron is about to earn his second ever ejection of his career.
Stewart and LeBron. Stewart is hot. And everybody's coming out now.
You see, the game after this ejection is at Madison Square Garden, LeBron's favorite arena. And after the game, it was announced that LeBron James will be suspended for 1 game. LeBron himself did not agree with the decision.
I thought it warranted an ejection because of what happened after that, but a suspension, I didn't think it was warranted, but the league made that call.
The game after the MSG game was November 24th in Indiana. And after hitting dagger after dagger, LeBron finally decided to bring back the celebration.
Steps for another 3. Got another one! LeBron drains another one! Yes, sir!
After that game, the silencer would go into another 3-year exile before November 16th, 2024, on the road against the Pelicans. After hitting 2 3-point daggers, the silencer made its return.
He's got it again!
Now, what makes this game interesting is that while all LeBron's previous silencer celebrations are against teams that have some sort of history with him, this night against the Pelicans, with half their team injured, seemed, dare I say, random. I mean, the Pelicans don't really have any history with him. And when thinking of iconic stadiums, I don't think Smoothie King Arena is at the top of the list. So why did LeBron James bring back the silencer now? I mean, if we overanalyze it, he seems to love doing these celebrations in November. I guess that fits the theme. But it's not against a big team, and not in a big arena. And he didn't even shoot it from the left side of the floor. Why did he choose to break it out now? Then it hit me. If you watch the video from this angle, you can see a certain someone else doing the silencer. Then I realized this was the first dagger 3 LeBron has hit with his son as a teammate. LeBron, when asked about it, called it the best feeling in the world. LeBron James and the Lakers have received a lot of criticism for the Bronny James situation. But regardless of where you stand, one thing is certain. Just a year prior, for a moment, LeBron and his family thought they've lost Bronny.
You're getting word that Bronny James, who is going to be a freshman basketball player at USC, suffered cardiac arrest.
You know, we almost lost Bronny in the summertime. You know, you never, ever, and all the shit that you think about that can happen wrong throughout life or whatever the case may be, you never, ever think about your kids. It's just, you know, the kids, you don't ever think about anything happening bad to your kids. You're like, I protect the kids, they're protected. When something traumatic like that happens, it's like, oh shit, things need to put in perspective.
And to go from that to now a little over a year later, to be able to celebrate hitting a dagger 3 in front of Bronny, who is cheering you on, well, I think that's a moment LeBron would trade everything for. Throughout LeBron's career, he has given us viewers a lot of moments that we will remember for the rest of our lives. But in year 22, this wasn't a moment for us anymore. This was a moment purely for himself.